With anger, it's a thing, because once you're angry, once you're really into emotion, it doesn't matter which emotion really, but anger is, since it's so heated, it really snaps you out. It snaps you out of your prefrontal cortex where your rationality is at. It just pulls you back into more emotional parts of the brain, or even like more fight and flight areas of the brain where you're really just reacting to whatever comes. So having emotional literacy is super important, because if we do not snap out of this rational thing. We just notice that the emotional parts of our brain will light up more if we continue that road. And with that information already, we can change. We do not need to go into explosion, because we can use the information and go forth in a wiser way. Hi, I'm Uma, and I am going to guide you through emotional literacy in my series of videos. In our short time together, what have we learned about anger? Anger gives us insights about two basic things: boundaries and needs. And anger wants us to know about these two sides, to have an eye-to-eye connection with other human beings or with ourselves. So anger is there to reconnect us by acting differently in two areas of our life: boundaries and needs. And an appropriate way to react to anger is to see how can we ourselves act differently with us ourselves. It's always directed back towards you, even if the anger is pushing outwards. What you truly need to find out, how you inwardly can deal differently with yourself, with your own life story, because time is breaking loose. What do you learn about yourself? When were your boundaries not respected the first time? Or multiple times? What's the pattern there? What needs to change in your core to really shift towards a life that is more appropriate to you? And that does not mean once you clear that, anger will go away. Anger will stay. Anger will come up in different parts, maybe not as often, the more you clear away. But anger is a language, and your soul speaks that language. So you will feel anger, deal well with it, and then things will run smoothly. One last information that I want to give is that anger mostly comes up when we have a kind of helplessness in ourselves. When we do not see where we have our own power, our own sufficiency, self-sufficiency to deal with the situation. Just stick with it. Inquire more about deeper and deeper. What's your core need there? What do you need? Why do you need that? Why do you need that? Why do you need that? The more you ask, why do you need that? Why is that important? The deeper you can come to your core need. It's actually quite a simple process. You just ask why and go deeper and deeper and deeper into the core needs that are below your anger, which is one of the first things that you can do. This inquiry process. What's my need there? How can I sit with that and ask myself, what do I need? Why do I need that? Why do I want that? Why is that important for me? To go to the core need to realize, oh, I want to be seen, or I want to this aspect of me to be seen, or I want to be recognized, I want to be equal, I want to be loved, whatever is below that. Whatever you need to find it out by asking yourself. And at the beginning, this takes time, and the more often you do that, the easier you get there. And if you are not able to do that on your own, you can use AI, because apparently they're quite good at that. which is amazing. So if you need someone to talk to, just use AI. Make it very practical and cheap. Internet for the good things. So provide yourself or AI with the following information. In which situation did it come up? What do you know about the need that you have there? What do you know or and feel about the boundary that was crossed there or was in danger to be crossed? And then for yourself, you need to know, how did you voice your need or your boundary? How did you express that there is a need or a boundary? And how did you yourself respect your need or your boundary? It's always about yourself. It's not about the others. If you yourself voice clearly that you have a need, and if you yourself respect your boundary or your need, then natural consequences will allow you new ways of dealing with situations. You just need integrity towards yourself at the top priority in your life. And that there are many people that have a problem with that because they learned that this is egocentric and this is bad, bad, bad behavior. That's another topic. That's another video. Maybe we will get there. I don't know, just for now, go with it. Set yourself as top priority, even if it doesn't feel right. The second thing that you can do when you have anger, when you feel anger, and when you feel like you're getting into the anger out of your rational mind, it's already too late for you to find out why the anger is coming. You have to live through it. Seclude yourself. Go away, go out of situations where it could explode. Except your anger comes because you fight for someone and it's an important situation that you stand there and fight. That's a different thing. But if it's like in a normal human interaction and you have a need or a boundary crossed, then and then the anger comes up, just pull back, give yourself room because anger says, I need my space. So go. You are the one that leaves. And if another person is angry and you're with that person, then they get more and more angry, try to leave. Try to leave. And in that moment that you create more space for yourself, develop a pattern in your mind that says, anger is coming up. Oh, I am curious why it is coming up. Because if you implement this thought pattern into your mindset, then when you dive into anger, this explosion is most likely not to happen at all or at a lower frequency as before. Because curiosity creates openness towards letting something in. And that is giving your energy the chance to give you healthy information. Healthy information. And if you feel like you're circling around, someone has said something bad about me, blah, 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 and it doesn't change, then write it down first. Write. Because writing your anger on paper is actually helping. It's like putting the energy on the paper. And then find the headlines for what you wrote down. And with the headlines, find out your needs and find out your boundaries. Because once we're emotionally charged and we cannot get out of this loop, we need to help our nervous system regulate. Writing is a really good process. Having a small opening towards curiosity is a really good process. And of course, breathing. Breathing is so, so helpful. If you're really angry, you will feel like the energy is rising up, it's getting heated, and most people pump air like really. So the breathing still is only happening here. Most of the air is not flowing into the belly. The energy is not going down to the legs. And this is just something that you can invite or just create awareness on how you breathe. Most of the times, that is enough to help you out of it, to help you regulate your nervous system. If you're like, oh, where am I breathing into? How fast am I breathing? How deep am I breathing? Do I have the feeling that with my breath, I really take in enough air, I give out enough air? How does my breath make me feel? That alone, wonderful. And if we have that awareness and then we are curious again about, can I breathe a little bit slower and a little bit deeper? So maybe to feel my pelvic floor, maybe I feel like my root chakra with my breath. Can I do that? Can I feel my feet while I'm standing here? Can I allow strong and sturdy and stable energy from the earth to enter my feet, to enter my root chakra? And can I support that with breath? Can I breathe through the nose instead of the mouth? All of these questions we can ask ourselves, and that will help regulate our nervous system even more. So if we allow ourselves maybe a sharp inhale and a long and even longer exhale. Because if we prolong our exhalation, and that can be a little bit and a bit more and a bit more and a bit more, we regulate our nervous system. And for anger, you do not need to get into elaborate breathing techniques. It's just enough to prolong your exhalation, just enough to create awareness about your breathing. And that will help a lot. Okay, I think we laid a good base for anger. And if you are up for more, we will dive into all the different informations in the next videos. I hope you enjoyed that and see you next time.